Good morning, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, because we have a lot of new faces in the crowd, it's awesome to have a crowd. My name is Bill Gordon. I'm proud to be the mayor of Midland. I have with me some of our councillors. And I'd like to thank you all for coming today. And we'll start off with our land acknowledgement. So the town of Midland recognizes it's located on land which is the traditional and treaty territory of the Anishinaabe people, now known as Chippewa Tri-Council, comprised of the Beausoleil First Nation, Rama First Nation, and the Georgina Island First Nation. This territory is within the Pre-Confederation Treaty number 5 and number 16, and included within the Williams Treaties of 1923. The town of Midland recognizes that it's located on land which is traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat and the historic homelands of the Métis, and that our town is home to a large and diverse community of Indigenous peoples. So thank you again, everybody, for attending. Thanks for the good weather today. It's not howling sideways snowing or anything. We've had that a few times. And definitely to thank our external organizations for taking the time to join us this morning in celebration. We're here today to raise the Pan-African flag to celebrate the start of Black History Month. Let me first say that Black history is, in fact, everyone's history. Today we listen, this month we reflect, and year-round we continue the conversation. This year's theme is Black Excellence, a heritage to celebrate and a future to build. The integral contributions of our Black Canadians and communities here have made and continue to make a rich fabric that has not always been recognized. The town of Midland aims to promote a community involved in dialogue, highlighting Black excellence and amplifying Black voices. I'd like to direct the mic over to our organizations that joined us today and individuals who are creating impactful change in Simcoe County and learn more about it. So I'd like to first start with representatives from Uplift Black to come up and share some numbers.
I can hold it. Hi everyone. So I'm Shelly Ann Skinner. I'm the president and founder of Uplift Black, which is an organization that works to uplift the Black community through professional development services, both for artists, creatives, entrepreneurs, and for our youth who are in those transitional years coming from high school to hopefully post-secondary. And so we're here today really to just first say thank you. Thank you so much for making this an important event in the town of Midland. To thank you for taking the time to bring in Uplift Black to do anti-Black racism education with the town. We did that last fall, and it was fantastic to be able to be invited and have some of these courageous conversations. I also just want to take something to recognize. Black excellence is something that we've all had. We've all been excellent individuals who have been contributing to the community, and so to have that highlighted finally has been really impactful, both to our community within the Black community, but also we add to the cultural mosaic of this community. And so it's fantastic to see the representation. And I want to also just thank all the other organizations who have been doing this great work. Parents Against Racism in Simcoe County, Making Change, Black for All Races, just to name a few, who've been really stepped up, and it hasn't been easy. This really was a movement that came out of the murder of George Floyd back in 2020, and that uprising of the Black Lives Matter movement. And we've seen, a lot of organizations, institutions within our community say, we know that we have to do better. And so today, this is one step towards doing better. So thank you so much for having us here. And we look forward to continuing to collaborate and create some sustainable change together. Thank you very much, everybody.
I would like to recognize that a couple years ago, Midland hosted its first Black Lives Matter Unity Parade. And there was a great event down at our Little Lake Park. It was largely led by our youth that started the rally in our community. And it was amazing to see the mosaic of representation. There was an awful lot of support in our community. We didn't experience any of the backlash or vitriol that you often see that accompany these events. None of that. It was a wonderfully attended event on a beautiful summer day. And quite frankly, it'd be nice to see another one in town. It really helps hammer the point home. Next, I'd like to invite representatives from Parents Against Racism, Simcoe County, to share a few words.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I am Natasha Shakespeare. I use the pronouns she and her, and I am the president and founder of Parents Against Racism, Simcoe County. Our mission, very simply, is to eliminate systemic racism within all systems. We work really hard to help Black families in particular navigate systems, the education system. And we fight for justice and accountability and transparency. And unfortunately, we're really busy across Simcoe County. But I, on a personal note, really want to thank the town of Midland for inviting us and doing this. I am someone that actually was born in Simcoe County, has lived in Simcoe County pretty much my whole life. And this is such a positive change and such a move in the right direction. These are things that never happened when I was a child. So I really appreciate the town of Midland for doing this and having us here. And thank you, and happy Black History Month, everyone.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to introduce our representatives from our Black for All races to come up and say a few words.
Thank you everyone for the opportunity given me to be here today. I'm going to talk about Black for All Races. My name is Daniel Abiodun, and I am the creator and co-founder of Black for All Races. Black for All Races has a little bit of history, and I came prepared to read out some stuff, so I want you guys to just follow along with me. So in June of 2018, a young Black Canadian called Orlando Brown, who was originally from African and was married to a Caucasian lady, he died while he was in police custody, leaving behind a teenage daughter. Now, prior to this incident, Orlando was being mentored by myself. I'm a legal professional, and I sit on the Committee of Youth Justice for Simcoe County. We administer extrajudicial measures to young people who are running in conflict with the law. So we have referrals from the law enforcement, we have referrals from the youth crown, and the essence of this is to ensure that all these young persons that are troubled, they end up avoiding the criminal record. So Orlando was referred to me, and we were mentoring him. He was somebody, a young Black Canadian. He got caught up with the street life. Eventually, he died in police custody. Now, after this, well, to just protest in a peaceful way and to provide solace to the grieving community, we arranged, a rally in downtown Barrie to peacefully protest. Now, there was a massive turnout of the residents, and the surprising thing was that it wasn't just Black residents, it was all the community that came out, right, in support of this protest. And in an effort to ensure that the concerns and issues addressed at the rally continue to be addressed in a timely fashion, and for better protection of the Black community was the essence of Black for All Races. Now, Black for All Races is an inclusive organization. So we are Black, but at the same time, we are for all the races. That means in our center where we have in Barrie, Ontario, everybody, we have a multiculturalism, rich culture in Canada. Everybody's welcome, all the races, and that's what we've been doing. So the initial objective of the organization was just to create more trust between the police and the Black community, provide access to justice to disenfranchised members of the Black community while keeping them informed of their rights and obligations towards creating a safer community. However, the objective later expanded to include provision and support to members of the Black community facing employment and other socio-economic barriers. So the vision and mission encompass empowering the Black community in integration and in collaboration with other organizations, in identifying our members with job searches, newcomers, resettlement assistance, reported racialized issue. I'm a legal professional, so I do a lot of human rights counseling and all of that advisory. So I'm just going to quickly finish by saying that right now, over the period, we've been trying to actualize some of these goals, and in a nutshell, what we have I just want to summarize everything right now is, at the very end right now, we have a center in Barrie where everybody's welcome to come. As you guys are already in Midland, we are going to invite you to come to our center where we can have the opportunity to all talk together, continue the close collaboration and work together as a community. So as Black for All Races is an inclusive organization. That's the emphasis, that we are here for all the races. Thank you very much for your
Said, and I can tell you that there is no home or place for racism in our community, and it will not be tolerated. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges with trying to identify systemic racism gaps, is that when you're in the system, or arguably are the system, you're living like this and you don't see it. And you may think, oh, we're doing everything just perfectly. Look how, we don't have racism in our systemic policies or the way we enact them. But we really rely on outside agencies and our residents to call us out when they see an inequity or they see an injustice, they see an opportunity for us to do things better. We need to hear from our community. We rely on our groups and organizations with trained experts, people that really know how to pick this out, to call it out, whether it be a microaggression or just some faux pas or some way we're not fulfilling our obligation to the BIPOC community to make sure that racism doesn't form any part of our policy or how we enact them. So thank you very much. Anti-Black racism, racism in all its forms, not tolerated in Midland or anywhere in North Simcoe, quite frankly. And so we applaud that, and we do celebrate this month. So thank you all so much for being here and for sharing your missions and for the work you're doing for the residents living in Simcoe County. Whether you're looking for support directly or for education or to get involved, you can find all that information on Uplift Black, Parents Against Racism Simcoe County, and Black for All Races on their websites and social media over the next week. I'd also like to invite Trish Hayes from our library, Midland Public Library, to come share a few remarks with us.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank Mayor Gordon, the councilors, and the Town of Midland staff for inviting the Midland Public Library as we recognize and celebrate Black History Month. Black history is about engagement, education, sharing, and celebrating. We can't leave the responsibility of making change up to others. We just have to be willing to learn, to commit ourselves to doing better as we know better. The Midland Public Library is committed to building a community where everyone can share their stories and hear and understand the stories of others. Thank you very much for having us here today.
Thanks, Trish. And I'll attest to the hard work done at the Midland Public Library as being a safe and inclusive space for all. And it's wonderful how we work, and our community really is very rich and better for having all of the rich fabric that we enjoy here, our Indigenous roots and our Black roots in Simcoe County. There's some really amazing stories, and I'm no expert on it, but what I've read and what I've heard, we play an integral role in the formation of Upper Canada back in the day and the Black Underground Railroad. There's some amazing things in Simcoe County to get to learn, and the best place to find that are on the resources of the sites of the representatives here today. So thank you all. This is a reminder of our call to action to strengthen in our commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion. It's very, very important to foster conversations on anti-racism, create space for amplification, and to recognize that Black history is in fact everyone's history. And we need to echo this conversation and celebrate Black excellence outside of the Black History Month. But the symbolic method that we're doing today, raising this flag, it's a start, and the social media and the other campaigns and outreach that'll throughout this month should really amplify that voice. So thank you again, and we'll invite the reps up to raise the flag.